guy, Eric Sheetsaber. We're going to be talking through this Monday night 8-game slate. There's also the NCAA championship game tonight, but don't really have any takes other than I would not bet against UConn, I don't think. Sheets, how you doing? And any? I guess we've had one big change in this slate since earlier today. What do you see as happening?
What's the one big change?
Framber Valdez was scratched,
right? So
Texas is, which was already kind of an interesting play anyway, is in play. But also, I might play a little bit of this Blair, this Henley, even though I don't think he's going to pitch more than a couple innings. I don't know what they're going to do in mid relief, but 4K, and I don't like the pitching on this slate, and I guess that's a good place to start. Zach Gallen and Berrios are my highest owned pitchers, and I honestly don't feel great about anybody. I have a lot of Mikolas, which I didn't expect to at the beginning of the day. So why wouldn't I play a 4K guy if I'm going to take some shots?
Yeah, so I was doing some hand building before we went on here, just trying to see what I would do if I would hand build, and I started with FanDuel actually. I was just about to go back to DraftKings, but like with FanDuel, for example, I have for both sites. I mean, I have Yu Darvish as like the top projected pitcher as far as like value goes, and he's getting pretty owned as well. That we knew that 11-point projection didn't exist right from earlier. So well, that's interesting. I have this set up here. So I have Darvish, but then like at lower ownership, I like the other two guys just below him, that being Eflin and Paxton on FanDuel. Just to save some ownership, giving up a little bit in projection, but I think it's worth it. Save $2. When it came to DraftKings, I was just actually taking a look at it, and it seems like sort of similar. Like I have Darvish like the top projected guy for value, but then Berrios, and they're both like the highest owned. So I'm going to probably choose between the guy you mentioned, Mikolas, and then those three others. You mentioned Gallen, and then Paxton and Eflin. So I kind of like that idea of playing two of those three kind of mid-rangers between Eflin, Gallen, and Paxton. Now, it's not like any of those are going to be really low owned, but they'll be lower owned than Darvish and Berrios, right? Which is kind of what I want.
Yeah, I like that as a way to go. I really don't think like when you Darvish, who's facing like the Cubs, maybe the third or fourth best offense in all of baseball, is the chalk. And we haven't seen him throw more than 85 pitches. I just feels like the right thing is to be underweight that situation, in my opinion. Now, is there upside? Sure. Could it? Sure. But like Berrios, you get a discount, and you're getting less ownership, and he's $1,300 cheaper, and I feel like it's a better place straight up.
Right.
Right. And like we don't know how many pitches Blake Snell's going to throw. He's going to get a lot of ownership. Charlie Morton, as we mentioned, is expensive for him, but I think he's a strong. Like I actually think it's not that bad a chalk considering how bad this Mets offense has been. But mainly, yeah, I like the Eflin, and I do think that using some of this Henley is it. Oh, I also have a little bit of interest in Spencer Turnbull. This Cardinals offense hasn't looked good either. Now they've had some tough matchups, sure, but I think this is a spot where you could use some Turnbull. I just don't see you having to use the chalk because there's no chalk. The only chalk I feel kind of okay about, and even that I feel hesitant is Gallen and Berrios. So, but like, it's really just because we don't have other good options. So in those cases, I would encourage anybody to gamble. If you're multi-entering, if someone was playing 150, I think you should have exposure to almost every pitcher on the slate. I have some Andrew Heaney. I wouldn't have Kyle Freeland probably, and I probably wouldn't have Julio Teheran. Everybody else I probably would have exposure to if I was playing 150.
So again, what I want to do is we're going to talk about the hand build stuff, and then after I do that, I'll just fire up my screen and we'll just do some MMA Saber Sim stuff, I guess, and see what we come up with. As far as stacks go, and only because I did this kind of in this order, I'm going to start with how I looked at FanDuel first. And FanDuel, looks kind of similar. So I do have, once again, Arizona projected to be the top stack, but I have them the highest owned. So I'll probably go down from there. So the next two kind of obvious, like not low owned, but lower owned maybe pivots would be Houston and Atlanta. But now, as you know, you got the new pitcher in Houston, then I think Texas kind of comes into that range. So the three kind of obvious non-Arizonas for me on FanDuel would be some combination of Houston, Atlanta. And my first build had some Houston, Atlanta combination with I think it was Eflin or one of those other pitchers. But right below them, I want to talk about the two teams I have right below them. One we talked about a little earlier, and that was San Francisco. So I have them a little below those top four, but listen, you're getting an ownership rate. And then also going back to a team I brought up a little earlier, and that would be Tampa. So if you want to get a little bit more off the board, you'll play something like San Francisco and Tampa. But I think if you're between Arizona, Houston, Atlanta, and Texas, at least on FanDuel, those would be my top choices. Did you take a specific look at FanDuel, or do you want to go straight to draft?
No, we could talk over. It's the same thing to me. I really don't see it as being all that different today. I think I think what's different is that you're going to see the teams that I already like that I'm willing to go out of my way to spend up for, because like I said, I'm not really putting that much weight on these pitchers. That anybody's going to have a great night, and if they do, I think it could just as likely be one of the cheaper ones. I'm definitely not going to, I'll be like below the field on Arizona, and they'll mostly be as like 1 off, 2 off, 3 off, like little mini stacks. I don't see any reason I have to stack Arizona here. It's fine, of course. But them being significantly higher owned than everybody else has me wanting to just there's no reason to me why not to try and force an Atlanta on DraftKings, where only one player is supposed to be 10% owned even. Now they're all going to be right around there, like 6 to 10. So like you said, getting more off the board, you could play the San Francisco stack, which I actually think ends up more. I think by the time it's all done, San Francisco's guys are more high owned than Atlanta is. But I think those are both awesome stacks. I have them as 1, 2. I'm factoring in ownership and everything. I have Texas as 3. The Dodgers as 4. Houston as 5. Arizona as 6. And I actually think with Houston's lack of ownership, you could absolutely play a Houston stack. I'm shocked on DraftKings that they're non-existent ownership. So that would be that to me, that would be the obvious get super different. But even Atlanta is different enough to give yourself a chance to win. Maybe not the lottery. Well, maybe even actually. I don't think they're going to get that much ownership tonight. So I'm just way overweight Atlanta.
So I'll tell you one difference I have on DraftKings, and it kind of goes against, whatever. It kind of like butts head with one of your takes on DraftKings. Is showing up in DraftKings a little bit more for me is as kind of a lower owned pivot is St. Louis.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned you might like the Turnbull a little bit. But just for ownership, I think maybe because of the pricing a little bit, it may be better on DraftKings a little bit for them. With the exception of Goldschmidt, I think everybody's pretty cheap. So I am considering that. My initial kind of hand build, I was fiddling around with just this before we got in, was some actually Atlanta St. Louis combination.
I think the St. Louis makes a lot of sense. And I just want to say, I have a ton of my highest owned player is Ivan Herrera, even though
he's awesome, by the way.
He's batting 50, he's 2,800. Let's play him.
Yeah.
So he's my highest owned player. So I just didn't get to the full stacks. I have Brandon Donovan. I have Alec Burleson. I have Mason Wynn with Burleson and Donovan in one, as a little 3-man. So I do have interest in them. I just didn't fully get to the stack. I could see. I mean, look, we've said this, early in the season, but there's a lot to like about these. There's a lot of stacks to like tonight. So really, you can when this happens, I just side with the best hitting teams and the Dodgers in Atlanta, but you can't ignore the pricing everywhere, and the Giants are the way of getting to that stuff.
All right, so I want to share my SaberSim screen, and I guess I have to pre-apologize unless there was a miracle that happened at 1:30. I know that we've been having issues with getting some of the projections onto the SaberSim application in the right way. We're working on that. It's a little harder when you have two separate. Well, you need to hear the excuse, but you have two separate entities. We have to keep up with our technology at the same time we keep up with theirs. So we're working on it. We're doing the best that we can. But again, you could always, not that this is ideal, but you could always download whichever projection source you want, whether it be Goldie's or mine, and then manually upload them.
Goldie's is in there.
like I do. What's that? Oh, Goldie's in there, fine. Okay.
Goldie's in there.
Yeah. So if you want them on, you can download them right from the site and then just manual upload them, which is exactly what I do, by the way. So it's really not that hard. It's just, an extra step that we prefer you not have to take. But and the other thing, it doesn't let
It'll
you
be fixed before the end of the month. We know what the issue is. They're fixing a whole thing. That's
great.
Very easy.
Oh, that's awesome. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a build here with DraftKings first. What is this this arrow up here? This is just because in my my dummy lineups, actually in my lineups earlier, these guys all got scratched. So this is interesting. I like to look at this from time to time. So Valdez, we saw, got scratched. Myers, what I had earlier, he's going to be not playing. Harrison Bader for the Mets. Diaz for the Astros. Shamuel from the Angels. Varsho, Toronto. Oh, and Real Muto for Phillies not playing. Okay. I was unaware of that.
Yeah, a lot of different lineups. It's always going to be different on Mondays.
Okay.
Mondays and Thursdays, you're going to see the weird lineups out there.
So again, what I kind of enjoy is to take a look at what the lineup builds look like from all different perspectives. Again, like for the NBA, there's very little difference between whether you use projection or the Sims or whatever your settings are. You do get some difference, not that much. But here on with baseball, you do, like, for example, if I don't touch anything, I just did the normal default large slate whatever stuff. What I would be getting, given my projections, given the way Saber Sim rates these guys, and listen, if you want to get into the weeds here, you could click here and see what all this means. Like right now, it's doing large slate 10K to 50K, and you click on the I, it'll actually tell you what the formula is for how it calculates it. I mean, if you're really a math guy and want to get into that, I'm more trustworthy. I just kind of accept that it is what it is. So right now, I would be getting, like, if I did nothing else, a good, like, 80% of Houston out of my 50. The other thing that's kind of cool to look at, by the way, and this is something I don't talk about a lot. You saw that I built 5,000 lineups to choose from, right? But it's rated my top 50. So it'll say lineup exposure 80%, but take a look at pool exposure. What pool exposure does is it says how much you'd be getting if you played all 5,000 lineups. And so in all 5,000 lineups, you'd actually get the highest ownership to come to Arizona, and then Philly, and then kind of a couple of other teams before Houston. So it's like Houston, like, overall is just kind of a team, but when you're rating the top 50 in this way, you're getting more of the Houston. So I think that is at least something to look at. The other thing I'm getting, by the way, is it does look like a lot of this Blair Henley. And let me just see. I think the reason for that, no, it's not any reason. I was going to say it's just because I have him at 0% ownership right now.
I think it's the right thing.
But it could be just the right. Yeah, see, here's the problem. So this is the issue. So I have him at 0% ownership because I haven't updated this yet. So I think that's what's going to happen is that's why I'm going to get 74% of it because they're going to presume he's literally 0% owned. So I probably have to rerun this with the new ownerships.
With him at like 10%? Because I think it's going to be higher than the 5% that he's being
like here. 5% now. Would that be better, I guess?
I think it's going to be 10% is what it's.
You think he's going to be 10? But in any case, so now we're looking at it from this perspective. And then what we want to do is we're going to run our contest sim. So I've already did these, these simulation settings. But again, I want to change these to, instead of having their default settings, I'm just going to change it to my 5,000 lineups as being the, whatchamacallit, the field to compare it to. Now, that is kind of fudging it because I'm presuming that you're going to get the same ownership for all these different contests, which is really not accurate, but it's a little different at least, and that to me is good enough. So we're going to run the contest sims, and I just like to see the difference between what we'd be getting with contest sims versus what we'd be getting without. So as you recall, it was like 80% Houston, and then as far as pitching goes, it was going to be 75% Blair Henley, and then 38% all the other guys, like Berrios, Paxton, Ober, that's interesting. Well, actually, it's 12%, not a big deal. Eflin. And we're going to see the difference. Now, one guy we haven't talked about is like the Blake Snell. I mean, he is a good pitcher, and Washington's not a very good team, but
I mean, he's getting a lot of ownership. Like, it's not like.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I mean, they got him. Goldie's got him as I think the 4th highest owned pitcher.
Okay.
Wait, let me just double check that. Yeah, 4th behind Morton and
Morton,
Berrios.
really, huh?
Yeah.
I would imagine it would have been like Gallen and Berrios be the top 2, and Darvish.
Actually, right now, Goldie now has. Oh wait, no, that's his projection. Never mind.
Okay.
Is that his projection or his ownership? Yeah, that's his projection. Never mind.
Okay, so in now we do this with the contest since we're by risk adjusted ROI. Let's see what we'd be getting. So now we have a whole new thing. Now we'd be getting 65% Atlanta of all things. To the point, they're probably not going to end up that highly owned. So when you run your contest ends, this is what you're going to end up getting: Atlanta, Texas, Minnesota to get some leverage against Paxton. Maybe I don't know why, but you're getting some Minnesotas here, which is again pretty interesting. And with pitchers, you'd actually be getting, let's see, here you'd be getting mostly Darvish, Berrios, and Mikolas. So it's very interesting. And the question people ask, well, what do you use? Well, I wish I knew the answer. You got to trust a little bit of your gut. And say, like, for example, do I want 42% Miles Mikolas? And when you do this, you are kind of like screwing with the algorithm or whatever. But you know what? Like I like to say, this is the United States of America, and I don't have to play anybody I don't want to.
Yeah.
So what I might do sometimes. What if I don't like Miles Mikolas? What would happen if I just literally X'd him? Like, I wonder what that would do to the rest of everything. So now you get Berrios, Darvish, Gallen, Eflin, like all the normal guys. And then as far as stacks go, yeah, you'd be getting these Atlantas, Texases, a little more Arizona. So if you don't want to get too chalky with all that Houston, then this is what you could do. I might actually do this for the relay throw. That actually might not be the worst thing in the world. But one other thing you can do, and again, Bobby, you like to mess with this sometimes. You look at stack exposure. Like for this build of 50, this is how it breaks down between 5 threes, 5 twos, whatever. And here I have like all these. I have much more OCD about this. So I'll X out these 4 twos and 3 2 twos and 3 3 twos. Because I haven't learned my lesson yet. And these 4 2 twos and 4 threes and whatever, and just play 5-man stacks. So just to see what it looks like. So then we apply these. I like to see kind of how this all changes again. Then I would be getting still the Atlantas, but more Texas, San Francisco's, Arizona's. And does it affect my pitching at all? No, I'm getting pretty much the same guys. I have Min Uniques 2, and that's a decision that you can make. Like if you're not confident, you want to do a lot of lineups, maybe you do more Min Uniques 3. But for now, I'll go Min Uniques 2, and I will save these in the relay throw. And that's just the lottery. Now let's see what it would look like, by the way, in the ball 4. I'm probably going to hand build these at the end of the day, but just to see what this would look like. So in the ball 4, it actually is recommending like a big 5-man Philly stack, plus Texas. It's actually not the worst idea in the world. But again, like I'm like operating Philly on name value. You know what I mean? Like I'm
right.
Like these guys, like you said, who are not, haven't really done anything like all year. What are you doing?
No, I think they'll be good eventually. But yeah, that was my take for now.
Yeah. And then we'll just kind of upload these, and again, we'll change the hand build stuff. So one of the reasons I was doing this is going to show you, at least even though it's not like logged into SaberSim through TrueDFS, you can still do what you need to do like really, really easily. Let's do FanDuel as well. I mean, just to kind of show you again, this is process. So let's upload again. Pretend you can't get it directly. You put, in whatever file you save it as, you upload it to FanDuel. And then let's, what is all these zeros? Let's see what's going on here. And let's build 50. Actually, once again, I keep saying we'll build 50. We'll build 5,000, but we'll rate by 50. And as I mentioned before, when it comes to FanDuel, it's not as big of a deal on a big slate, but smaller slates, you'll see this. Be careful with the SaberSim lineups. And I say that loving SaberSim to death, okay? you might end up with these pure 4-4s leaving 2,000 on the table. Just because, if Saberson gets in that mood where it demands correlation, it's going to demand it. And it's going to give you if you have the 1, 2, 3 from one team and you have a choice between the 9-man guy from that team who's hopeless at 2K or like a one-off of Aaron Judge, it might give you the 2K guy, to get you a stack. And listen, I can't prove that that's not right, but it doesn't feel like it to me. So I think that in FanDuel you should kind of eye test, sanity check your lineups almost all the time. What you could do on FanDuel, just to save yourself, you could do a min salary on FanDuel. That actually might, and I never do that, but that might be a good way to not check yourself, to make sure that you're not getting these 2K lineups left on the table just because they're correlated. You just set leave 500 max on the table or something like that, or whatever you think is right. Okay, so let's see what FanDuel looks like. Same exercises before. We're just doing these kind of normally. And team stacks, once again, 94% Houston. This is with no adjustments, followed by Philly. And when it would come to pitchers, I would be getting, let's take a look, exposure. 96% Bregman, but he doesn't pitch last I checked. Pretty actually spread out. Paxton, Darvish, Eflin, Barrio. I mean, a lot of different guys. So let's do the same thing. Let's do a contest sim. But here we have to take one other step, because I didn't save these already to my to my lineups. I have to save kind of dummy lineups here. So let's take my lineup file, and then we have to upload it to here. Thusly. Okay, and when this is here, now we're going to right-click this, and we're going to add the contest sim. You're going to use the same thing. Build 2 instead of the default. Monster, add contest sim. Build 2 instead of the default. And now we're going to run our contest sims, and off we go. Hey, I wonder. I'm looking at the implied totals. Did they fix it all on SaberSim? Let's see. Not really, huh?
Yeah, they did a little bit.
5.6 for tech. That's a lot.
That's not unreasonable.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's 5.3 in Vegas.
That's true. Yeah, and Atlanta 5.7. That's good for, like I said, good for the first 5 innings.
I don't understand what this. I honestly the only thing I can think it is the wind. There is some wind blowing in Atlanta. It's 9 miles an hour, but it's 75 degrees there too. And I just don't understand why people are paying up for pitchers that we don't really think can get us that high of a ceiling when you have an offense like this in this spot. When you have Houston against Heaney, who just is a complete wild card and has been crushed by Houston basically all the times he's ever faced them. You've got Texas against Blair Henley with the 5.3 total, whatever. There's some good offenses out there tonight, but I don't know why it has to. So to me, it doesn't. That's why I'm not going to just do the Diamondbacks thing. I just don't understand why I would, when there's just so much out there that I think is just as good or better. And basically people aren't going to play it because it's expensive and they want to play the Diamondbacks. So that's what I'm going to do.
So when we just ran the Sims, and we're getting a little bit different. We're getting for the lottery 44% Houston, 40%.
I like that.
What's up?
I like that.
Yeah. So this is what we get when we attach the Sims here, and then San Francisco, Arizona, and Texas next. But again, we have to see what else is going on. So let's see the stack exposure. Mostly 4-4s and 4-3s. We could get rid of some of these. What do you like more, 4-2-2s or 4-3s on FanDuel?
I'm okay with either. It depends on the slate. I've done really well with 4-2 whatever. 4-2-1-1 is totally fine. Correlation matters more on FanDuel, so I would generally prefer to try to go that direction. So I guess I would say 4-3s.
Well, I didn't mean 4-2-1-1-1s. I meant 4-2-2s.
No, I know, but I think 4-2-1-1-1 is the same thing. I really don't think the 2-2 thing is that necessary. Again, correlation matters, but one player to the other I think you need to get to 3. So I like the 4-3 ones. I do think 4-2-2 makes sense, but I'm okay once I treat a 4-2-1-1 the same as a 4-2-2.
Darvish, Paxton, boy, a decent supply of Mikolas.
Yeah.
Can I do it? Do I have it in me? I don't know.
My highest owned pitchers right now are Gallon, Berrios, Morton, Mikolas. They're all pretty similar, but I have a little more Gallon and Berrios.
As you said, he can't eat up innings,
Yeah. Why? Oh, it doesn't have my relief pitcher in there. Never mind. I also have. Oh, they count James Paxton as a relief. But this is so weird. How
do they?
Which is a mistake. They have it next to Heaney also. But Blair Henley, I've got 15% of. And the other side of that Texas thing.
Let's see what it would give me here. It would give me Texas and Houston with Darvish, and that certainly makes a lot of sense. Evan Carter hitting 5th, huh?
That's not the new.
Yeah, I guess. Kisner at 8 in the 8 hole. And then you get the normal Houston guys.
Yeah, I stacked Texas. I didn't play any Knizner or whatever.
Yeah.
He just can't hit, and they have a lot of guys who can.
Well, then that's not a good sign if the guy can't hit. I mean,
I couldn't find a way to get to him because, I'm like, no, it's like Atlanta tonight. Like Darno, I only have 10% of, but I have 30% of every other Atlanta player because they're just too many good hitters to want to give up, to give up a position spot.
Yeah. So I'm probably for now going to keep my original my hand build thing on, and maybe I'll change it, whatever. But right now, if you guys care, what it would look like now. Oh, where is it? Early highest entry fees. It's going to be, I guess, sort of chalky, but I'm actually going to use Eflin with a combination of Houston and Atlanta. And the only kind of thing I couldn't afford to play Alvarez. So he's just going to have to just not get a home run today somehow. So that's pretty much where I'm at over here. There's no basketball today or NBA. It's like a 2-game hockey slate, which I'm not participating in. And the NCAA stuff. Well, I'm also going to be appearing on that it's this really good podcast by this guy, Golden Pants. Oh, bye, honey, have fun. But this Golden Pants guy who's really super sharp sports guy, whatever. He wanted me to come on for some reason. So I'm going to talk sports betting, what little I know about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring the Better Take stuff up.
Yeah, please.
So I'm doing that for the next week or so. Nice. And what else? I'm actually in town for the next at least one weekend, and then I'm coaching the following weekend.
Oh, nice.
But, we got all kinds of sports coming up. We got the Masters coming up on Thursday.
That's exciting, yeah.
And what's always interesting about the Masters is trying to make heads or tails of the live guys. It's hard to project. They haven't really been competing against this. The same. Everybody's been competing in different fields, so it's kind of hard to see who's playing well when the live field is very small. But I guess you could do it based on whatever course they played on. So, I guess the real divining rod this week is going to be what to do with Brooks Koepka, as he is every freaking tournament.
I think the two most interesting guys are Brooks Koepka and Wyndham Clark because Wyndham has basically been like Scotty, just barely worse than Scotty Scheffler, for the last year.
Koepka every year. The sharp data guys say he's the worst player on the board, and every year he wins. You know what I mean?
I'm not fading. I'm not messing around with this one anymore.
You know what I mean?
I'm playing worse in the majors. I'm not messing around it any bit.
Are you gonna play Tiger?
I wasn't going to, and then I heard today that he shot a 31 on the front 9 in his practice round, and he was playing with Zalatoris, who said that he didn't. Who was it? Somebody said they'd never seen him play like that.
I heard that. I heard that too.
I was like,
that might be good. That might be good enough for me to get a couple of shares. You know what I mean?
I'm just if he's shooting 31 out there on a Monday, I'll take a shot.
Just a couple of lineups, just for the brand.
Yeah.
If you kind of want to have it, you know what I mean? It's.
Look, if he's able to walk, he's not missing the cut. Like, it's not going to happen at Augusta. I'm sorry.
He can miss
No, he's not going to. I'm serious. I don't think so. It would take like him really being injured, I think. He's not missing the cut at Augusta, I don't think.
I doubt it. I wonder if Akshay, hopefully his shoulder's okay. Hopefully he plays at 7.
I'm definitely playing some Akshay too. First of all, I would have played him anyway if I could. I mean, if he was good, he wasn't going to play here.
A hero. What can I tell you? Got some hero.
He is. He's awesome, and he's a shot shaper and a lefty, and all. He sort of fits the whole mold.
He's definitely a course fitter. I would think. Yeah. I don't know if he hits it far enough, really, but
yeah, there's some interesting pricing. He can hit it enough, and it's also interesting. Like a lot of guys who don't hit it necessarily so far have done well at the Masters plenty of times.
But that lefty thing's a big deal.
Yeah, and the lefties have a huge advantage. They always do well. Historically, Bubba, Phil, Harmon.
Are you going to play any Mickelson?
I'll throw him into one lineup.
You have to, right? He just got it, right?
He finished second last year.
Really?
Or fifth, or no, second. He finished second at the what's it called? The Open Championship, I think. Something crazy.
I mean, and you get Denny McCarthy at 6,200.
Denny McCarthy at 62, who's going to be the chalkiest 6,200 guy we've ever had. But
he's $200 more than Vijay Singh and Jose Maria Olazabal, like Freddie Couples. He's only 200 more. You have Eckroat at 6,300. But the aforementioned Bub at 6,400. Is he done? He can't do anything at 6,400.
I don't know. You playing Bubba, he's had good things here. He hasn't been good at Live at all. Neither has Brooks lately, by the way. But I don't know. I would lean more towards. I like Taylor Moore a lot this week. I like Eckroat a little bit. I like Lucas Glover a lot. I like Kitayama a little bit. I like Grillo a lot. So I just like the guys around him better. I wouldn't get to Bubba. I don't.
How about how about the other legend? How about Nick Taylor?
Nick Taylor's only 7K, but I like the guys just above him. I think Adam Scott's and Bhatia and
Henley, Jesus,
and Siwoo, who's always good here.
Yeah, there are guys.
And Jaeger, by the way, who's
obviously we're playing some Fleetwood, right?
Fleetwood is going to be my highest owned player. I can pretty much guarantee that.
I don't really need Jason Day, I guess. I guess I really don't need Harmon. What about say goodnight, Raquel? What's his price? He's
96, and he's one of my other highest owned players.
He's 9,600.
Been the best player.
I thought that he was going to be 7K flat. I didn't know that
he's like one of the favorites to win the tournament.
I'm looking at this. He never loses. This is crazy.
He's like the best golfer in the world. No, I'm serious. He's like one of the best.
This is literally amazing.
He's been by far the best live golfer.
How much money is he making? He must make a fortune.
I know.
Like, aren't all these tournaments like extra juice live tournaments? I mean,
yeah.
Oh my God! Look at these numbers.
I know.
What about the other one? How is Mito in this?
Mm-mm.
No, he's out. I don't think he made it.
No, he didn't make it. Neither did Taylor Gooch, who is another one I would be betting on if he was here.
The Gooch? Yeah, I am not gonna be playing like Aberg at 9,100. I just can't do it.
Why?
It's the Masters, man.
I don't think I'm going to either. But the reason I'm not going to is because of the ownership. Because I think he's going to be like one of the most popular players.
Really?
Of course, he's awesome. He's great. He's like spectacular. He's not like a decent. This isn't a. Have you watched him hit the ball? He's like a machine.
I'll play Fleetwood at 1,600 less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, play Fleetwood. Play Connors in that range.
Hatton. I mean,
Hatton's too cheap at 76.
Oh my God! The respect is.
Sergio Garcia, by the way, who just won, is.
Well, excuse me. The respect has finally collapsed. Listen, accordingly, but Colin Morikawa is 8,400.
Yeah, but I mean.
He deserves.
The guy hasn't hit the ball straight at all, like in a while.
What about the aforementioned Bryce DeChambeau at 8,200?
Yeah, that's probably worth taking some shots on. He's actually looking pretty good right now. He's playing.
Now wait a minute. I need to audit this. Do we have any confirmation on that Kenny bullshit, or is that a thing?
I don't think it's a real thing that I'm going to pay any attention to until later this week.
Okay.
I believe they said it, but they could have just been like an offhanded thing. Like,
I just want proof that they were said at all. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I'm guaranteeing you. Yeah, he definitely heard it. He said he heard it on the Masters Live. He watches every second of that stuff, so he's not making up.
What he's referring to is that apparently Scotty Scheffler's wife and Sam Burns' wife are both pregnant, and we don't know exactly when their due dates are. I hear it's later in April, but there's been some talk that the golfers may have said that if my wife goes into labor, I don't care what my position is in the tournament, I'm leaving.
Right.
We'll see about that, but we'll see. It's easy to say, but we'll see if Sam Burns is leading going into day 4. You know what he does. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll just see.
You know who else is cheap? Who's a good play this week is Adam Hadwin. He's 6,600, and he's actually playing like really good golf. And he's played here before. Like this is not like a place he can't play well. Like I sort of like the Canadians this week. Connors, Hadwin. I mean, Adam's got 3 top 5s and 6s in his last 4 events.
Dude, I'm telling you, know what I got to do? I've been trying to play these classic slates like a professional the last like 4 months. I think maybe I'm going to just start playing like a casual. I'm going to play like Bubba. I'll play Phil. I'll play Tiger. I'll play Brooks Koepka. You know what I mean? Like I'll play all the anti-model guys with name value.
Yeah.
Oh, how about now? Not Dustin Johnson, but I'll play. I'll play guys like that, and not play any Aberg like the sharp play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Matsuyama is a great play too, by the way.
Yeah, he's definitely a good play. Who else? Who's going to be the other hipster play? I haven't looked at the ownership. So you're saying that Danny McCarthy might get owned at 6,200?
Yeah, he's going to.
Yeah, the thing is, you just don't ever need to play those prices. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide. Like, it feels weird because I actually think like there's some good things about Finau lately. Like, I like Cam Young a little bit. I'm trying to decide really what I want to do in this whole thing. But I of my 2 big buy-ins right now, I don't have Scotty currently in either, and that's probably got to change, to be honest. But I have Rahm 1 as my highest expensive player, and I have Brooks in my other one as my most expensive player.
You know what's cool about this is like they make this pricing. You can play like 6 of like your favorite golfers, like in every lineup. Like it's like depending on who you like, you know, whatever it is.
Right. As long as you don't like Scotty too much, I guess.
Right. Well, forget about Scott. Yeah. I mean, I just like threw 6 guys into a lineup here. Like all 6 guys of all these 6 guys can win the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're all, and you know what I mean? And you fit them all in nice and easy. All you need is like the best golfers in the world to just not show up. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. You just need Rory and Scotty Scheffler and Rob, by the way. We haven't seen him play in a while, right? And Koepka, and then probably the best player in the world, the Wyndham Clark. You know, like it's
right. For what it's worth, on FanDuel, it's pretty easy to play Scheffler and Rahm together.
Oh, you looked at a FanDuel golf slate?
It's a big one. It's the Masters. I'm gonna have the most. Look, if this weekend doesn't go well,
first, are they giving $100K for first?
$100K for first, yeah.
Let's go. I'm in.
So they have the 555 over there, yeah. But I put Scheffler and Rahm in my first build. It's
you always can get that in FanDuel. You can always.
What's that? You can always do it, right?
Yeah, you can always do that in FanDuel.
Yeah, but I like it this week. I mean, I think that those would be the guys I would want to get into. You know, well, the other one being Neiman, as a guy who's like, if I had to pick 3 guys to win the tournament, those would be the 3 I'd pick right now.
Is Neiman going to be like the
really popular?
Is he going to be the hot play that we're supposed to fade?
I don't think you're supposed to fade it. Every single thing about him suits it perfectly. Like he's played well before.
Now, do you think that people will either play live guys or not play them? You know what I mean? Like, you think that if someone plays Neiman, they're more likely to play Koepka or DeChambeau or the others, or are people inclined to maybe just dump them all? Or are people going to take like stands on live in general? I don't know.
I don't think they're going to take stands on live in general. I think Neiman's going to be one of the most popular golfers.
Okay.
I think
I really haven't looked at anything yet, as far as ownership or anything like that. I think the ownership just has to be spread around because you could just play all these guys, you know?
Yeah.
I think you think that without even looking, I literally haven't looked at a single ownership projection. So you're thinking that the top owned guy in total is going to be Neiman, or you don't think Scheffler is going to be number 1?
No. No, I think that Neiman will be right there, but I think that Scheffler and
Rahm,
probably Scheffler,
Rory.
I think Fleetwood and Connors and
really like those guys are actually going to get like as much as the top 3.
Connors just top 10s every year. Like, and he's
No, I
7,500.
know, but I remember like the people that played this tournament might not be the same people who are playing the normal golf.
Yeah, they're pretty good usually about that. I mean, the fact that like Brooks is projected to be like 6% owned, and he was like 50% owned at the last one. Like,
you can give me all the DeChambeau at 6%. That's for sure.
No. Bryce will be owned.
Oh, I thought you said Bryson would be 6%.
No, the trend is following him now. He's the trendy one, and Brooks is not the trendy one right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Brooks hasn't been playing well, and that doesn't mean a thing to me.
It really doesn't, does it?
No.
Cantlay at 6% ownership, probably.
Cantlay is going to be totally overlooked, and it's really weird because it's not like his game isn't suited well for the Masters or something. It's just I would rather play Xander a little bit more. I'd rather spend down for Matsuyama, but it's close.
You rather play Aberg? I mean, like,
I think that's where it gets a little bit interesting because I think Aberg is on the verge of becoming the better golfer, but like it's almost like weird that we're so quick to treat him like he already is.
What about the other guy that he used to use? You would play all the time. What about Cam Smith this week?
Oh, I'm playing him.
Okay.
I have some Justin Thomas, which just because I keep hearing people talk about it. It's making me play it.
Sure.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I think that Morikawa. Listen, I'll say this: if Morikawa does like do really, really well, I mean, like, good on him. I mean, that would be a big turnaround in his form.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I can do that.
The guy who's gonna win though is who might win. Who also like no one's gonna play Zalatoris because he's been in bad form. Again, we've seen him be in bad form and finish second here before. I think, or was it not here? I think it was here. And we also Cam Young is a really like the best golfer, like who doesn't get the credit, and just hasn't won the big one yet. But he's another one. I think Sam Burns is crazy to be 81. I think you could build some really nice lineups without ever touching the 6Ks, but there's some guys like even in the 6Ks who I think are pretty decent. So it's kind of interesting. I feel like my builds are a little bit all over the map.
Is Ryan Fox a lefty as well, or no?
No, I always think, what's so funny, Sheets? I always think he is in my head, and then I watch. I'm like, oh no, I gotta remember he's not a lefty.
Thinking of some British guy who's a lefty. The Bland might be a lefty, I think.
No, he's a righty.
Okay.
But it is, I don't know who.
It's gonna be Akshay season, isn't it? Like,
I'm gonna play right back. We're a little worried. I mean, he really got hurt at the end of the thing.
He was celebrating the Martin Dramatica.
He walked. What was he doing?
He was fist bumping. He was fist bumping.
No. But you saw him he had to leave the course and.
Yeah, but dude, and then it was like such a disheartening troll to freaking Denny McCarthy. Like, Denny
I know, that's what I was saying.
Just stuck it in the water. He wants to kill himself.
I know.
And Bocce is like, excuse me, I need to take 45 minutes to tape up my foot before I basically just destroy you by 3 strokes. It's like, it's actually kind of amazing to see. Like McCarthy literally, I think it was like 7 birdies in a row to end the tournament.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything wrong. And then literally from 95 yards, puts it in like the creek, which is like weird. 5 feet wide.
Right. No, it was so weird. That shot was bizarre. But the crazy thing was McCarthy, Rick Run did a thing of the last 100 and I think whatever it is, 167 tournaments, including majors. Both of these guys would have won every one of those tournaments based on all the advanced stats. That there's like no way you could have played as well as they did. Like, it was ridiculous.
Right.
And McDenny made the fewest putts in PGA Tour history.
Can you believe? I mean, the chance that Boccia makes that putt on 18 after McCarthy like wrecks his soul is like almost zero.
Right, after McCarthy made the 12 and a half tough.
That's amazing. That was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, they interviewed Akshay after. It's like, dude, I mean, you get into a freaking putting contest with that guy, it's freaking scary. The guy's impossible. It's like,
right.
When he's hot, he's like impossible. And God forbid he's putting shots close enough. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Patrick Reed. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
My least favorite.
Oh.
Theegala I like a little bit.
What's that?
Theegala I like a little bit.
I guess. Minwoo Lee.
He's been really good, Theegala. Minwoo Lee I love as a player, but I just don't know if it's
Masters is tough. Masters is tough, man.
I know.
You're the best golfers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we need to beat like Luke List or something like that. You know, it's like
it's a provoking course. It's a tough course to stay consistent on. Because every shot is so different than like any other shot you hit. Like,
yeah. Well, we will get after that on Wednesday. And so we what did I hear? I heard some rumor that somebody knows someone from the NCAA. This is obviously 100% accurate because somebody tweeted it. Somebody said they know somebody who works at the NCAA and they're overinflating the basketballs for tonight, so you should bet the under.
What?
Yeah.
This is the dumbest thing in history.
Somebody that has like 3 followers or something like that, like tweeted that.
Oh my God. I can't tell what I hate more, the Caitlin Clark could play in the NBA person or the people who hate it so much that Caitlin Clark is. I can't figure out which side I'm on. Like, I mean, I know she could never, obviously. But the point is that it's so annoying that these two extremes. And like, there's all these people who just hate Caitlin Clark for no reason. And there's all these people who want to point her.
So I've seen some backlash from the WNBA. Well, you know what? It's healthy, I guess. You know what I mean? Like they have egos in the WNBA. They're like, okay, let's see how you're doing in college. Let's see how you do in the end. I don't mind. Yeah, that's fine.
So like the best ever, like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. I watched their version of the championship game last night. Like where they're like
obviously, like, you know, Caitlin Clark's better than those people were 10 years ago.
Well, Taurasi's probably the greatest of all time. Like,
but even still, 10 years before is 10 years. I mean, that's a lot.
She still plays though. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that her 10 years ago.
I got you.
There's no way that any of those people were better than Caitlin Clark. There's just no way. That's the way technology works. That's the way it is. Those people weren't shooting from there, ever.
They didn't even know if they were allowed. They would never have been allowed to even shoot from there.
That's true too.
They would have been taken out.
But yeah, one of them is Sue Bird is from around here. She's from Syosset.
Yeah. I thought it was cool what the girl did though. After we can head out, but I thought I did like what Don Staley did. Like, and I thought that was actually a good thing to point out. Hey, you're raising our sport. That's a really good outlook to have, and I wish people would just like slow down. There's no reason to hate just because she's popular. She's really good for everybody. Everybody's going to make more money because of.
And she's not a dick or anything like that. You know, it's like whatever.
Not at all. All right, buddy. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, I will. I'll see you, like you say, see you at the top of the leaderboards, and we will get back after it tomorrow. Let's take a look. What's the schedule tomorrow? Hold on.
It's just we got the full slate of both.
Afternoon game.
No, it should be just regular. I mean, maybe there's what is there? I don't think.
Yeah, so. Tomorrow just 7:05 p.m. 11 games. Let me take a look at the NBA schedule. NBA tomorrow. Full slate, 11 games as we wind down the. I guess wind down the regular season. No, it's not that bad, right?
Yeah, there's only a few more games.
Only a few more games, huh? What's going on with the playoff races? Anything interesting?
They're all like kind of like the okay. So like in the East, for example, the Boston ran away with it a million years ago, but like the Bucks are the 2 seed and Cleveland's the 5 seed, and they're within a game and a half, and there's 4 left and 4 or 5 left for each of them.
So this is what it looks like right now. So right now,
the Lakers are in the play-in against the Warriors right now, but they could still move up to the 8th. So they're the better play.
Is this from last year? Oh, this is from now. Okay.
This is not.
So right now the Knicks would be the 4 against the Cavaliers with the home court. All right, Knicks, let's go. The Bucks are the number 2?
The Knicks could still get to number 2.
The Bucks are like the worst team in basketball. How are they number 2?
They've not only that it's only recently that they even got close. They were running away with it, and they just have lost 4 in a row, and it just fell apart.
This is the Celtics and like 7 other teams. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just the truth is the West is so much stronger. I really think that there's like 7 teams in the West that could win the East.
Well, let's see about this. So, I still think that there's a disbelief that the Timberwolves are any good. Like, even though they're the best record. Well,
Cat is not whatever happens with him is a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? Right. He hasn't played in forever. They've been winning, but
so yeah. If things hold, I mean, like, listen, the Nuggets are gonna be tough.
The Nuggets are better than anyone else.
What about the Thunder, though, huh?
You know, it depends on the matchups that some of these teams draw. Like, I really don't think that the Lakers is a great, like, the Thunder should be able to beat the Lakers, like, theoretically, like, but it's actually like an annoying matchup for them because the Lakers are just so much bigger than they are.
Well, I mean, I have the Thunder playing the Suns right now, but
well, you don't know because the Thunder, it's a 1-game thing and they're tied.
Anything, right? But I mean, like, can the Thunder beat the Nuggets?
I don't think they have a chance.
Interesting.
I think if you ask the teams that have a chance are actually not the teams at the top. I think it's if anybody could beat them to me, I don't think it's going to happen. I think a fluky series from the Clippers could happen. Okay. I think there's a Dallas, Luka goes nuts and Luka could legitimately average 50 and 10.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Kyrie could also get hot and score 50 twice. The Suns have the same type of potential to do the same thing, and the Lakers have a lot of size and are on fire right now. They just can't move up in the standings enough.
But I'll say that in the East, I think it's the Celtics and like everybody else. I think anybody else can like advance to that conference final against them, like all the way down to the 8th, the Heat. You know what I mean? Like
I think actually maybe the most likely team is Philadelphia, who since
Embiid is 7, right?
Yeah, and they haven't lost since Embiid got back.
Yeah, so. And that'd be awesome if the Bucks get the 2 and then they have to play the Heat somehow. I mean the Sixers somehow.
Yeah, or the Heat for that matter. They beat them last year.
Heat always beat them.
Yeah.
And the Magic, they've had a nice season. We'll see how they can play in the playoffs.
I love the Magic. I think that they're actually it would be really slow to watch them play the Knicks because they're sort of like the same team.
Yeah.
But the Knicks know I think they're 1 year away.
Anthony in the playoffs in Madison Square Garden. I think the Bulls and the Hawks are justifiably the weakest of these teams.
Yeah. The Hawks, who are better without Trey, as we all keep saying.
As we've all discussed.
Yeah.
Warriors, I mean, they're not going to do anything.
It's weird because I actually think the Lakers, Warriors, and especially the Pelicans of the other teams they're all like really dangerous.
Okay.
And I don't love watching this Laker team or anything, but I don't think there's just enough youth with the Thunder. There's enough question marks with the Wolves to where I don't think it's that clear. But I mean, honestly, I really think Luka deserved the MVP this year and he's not going to get it. And I think Dallas, like people forget that they were in the conference finals a couple years ago and now they have Kyrie Irving in the Jalen Brunson role. And look, I'd rather have Jalen Brunson than Kyrie Irving, but still, Kyrie's the most talented one-on-one guy in the world. And in a playoff series, man, they could be really good.
You know what's awesome is that we could just sit here and BS about this. We're not worried about like injury news like this with the NBA.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like this is amazing.
I know.
NBA playoff schedule. I just want to see. So the play-in game is April 16 to 19, and then the first round would be the 20th. So I'm trying to plan if I'm going to be around for the Knicks. I definitely want to go see. And if they have the home court, then they get hopefully multiple.
Yeah.
No
matter what.
And is it 4 out of 7 the first round?
Yep.
Nice.
They do it the right way in the NBA.
Yep. So it would be April 20th. So probably April 21st or 22nd, 24th. I'm going to be away for part of that. I'll make that happen. All right. I guess that'll do it. Good luck, everybody. And let's get a sweat in baseball.
Yeah. Love it.